A sharp gust of wind rattled against the windows as Ryan stood awake, her body aching from the weight of, and the space beside her was empty. A deep frown creased her forehead as she reached out, her fingers brushing over nothing but the sheets. Taehyung, she called softly, her voice hoarse from sleep. The usual warmth that lingered on his side of the bed was missing and replaced by an unsettling chill that sent unease up her spine. Her hands trembled as she pushed the covers away and stood up, her swollen belly a gentle reminder of the life growing inside her, the unborn baby, their baby. The very reason he had taken leave from the military to be with her, to cherish these moments before their child arrived. Barefoot, she padded out of the bedroom, the air around her unnervingly still. A suffocating silence loomed in the house, amplifying the thudding of her heartbeat as she approached the living room. But her breath at the sight before her, Taehyung stood near the sofa. His back stiff, his hands clutching the straps of a duffel bag, the same bag he had placed on the couch, its presence of an unspoken departure. Ryan dropped, he had promised her, promised that he would stay, that he would be for her and for the baby. But the sight of his backpack, the illusion she had held onto so desperate. Why, Taehyung, her voice wavered, her tightening. Why, why is your back here? She asked with her, but she didn't got any response back, making her eyes to control after looking at him who didn't even bother to tell before he packed his luggage. Taehyung, speak up. You said now you'll stay unlike before because I'm now and you will now take care of us now. What happened, Taehyung? Taehyung looking at her and filled, making his words came out whisper almost hesitantly. It's an emergency and now they need me. He said and looked away since is forming in him since he knows and not for his duty. And he now has no courage to look into her eyes, and Wine, who's listening to Taehyung words, she couldn't do anything slip from her mouth, which she is still not. I never mattered to you, right? If anything matters to you is your job, right? She whispered more like confirming herself again looking at her husband. I am Taehyung, she said, making him look at her as she continued. Aya, what if our baby will not matter to you in future just like me? Wyatt, why are you thinking like this, Wyatt? He whispered, feeling. Then what you want me to think? I understood you and gave respect to you when you joined military and wanted to follow your passion. Even my friends me by living when I'm even married, but I care little. But now I felt like the words right. And even though you wanted to prioritize your job, even you know I have none but you. And now I'm not asking you to stay here with me for me, but for our baby. I need someone beside me, and I want that person to be you. She said, making Taehyung looked at her, holding who failed to understand what she had gone through till now. But he kept silent, making Wine looked away after getting no response from Taehyung, even listening to everything because of him, because not to make him, since he's living afar from her for this country, but now she couldn't just hold back herself from saying those. If you still want to leave, you can. I won't stop you like I never did before, anyways. Let's go to the doctor. It's time for your checkup, he said, ending the making her said again. And Wine, who looked at his unchanged mind, she said, I can take care of myself now, this baby, just like before, all myself. She had expected silence, but she didn't expect what happened next. Before she could take another step upstairs, her words shifted. Suddenly, a gasp from her lips as she felt herself lifted off the ground in a bridal carriage. Instinctively, her arms wrapped protectively around her small but heavy baby lump, her hitching. Taehyung, what are you doing? Put me down now. Her voice, but he didn't listen. His grip was firm yet gentle. His jaw as he carried her out of the house, straight to the car. He laid her down on the seat with the utmost care before securing the seat belt around her, just as she tried to push him away. Heart caught in her throat, her body frozen in place. It wasn't just a passion. It was desperate, broken, filled with unspoken words. The way he struggled against her, the way his hands shook as they held her face, it was as if he was trying to memorize her. When he pulled away, his forehead rested against her. His voice, once strong and commanding, now cracked with, I'm sorry for everything you went through, for all the times I wasn't there, but this time, Vayam, when I come back, I'll never leave you again. Never. His grip on her hands tightened as his eyes bored into hers, desperate for her to believe him. Please, Wine, just this time, trust me. Wine swallowed the lump in her throat, the war of whenever she requested him to stay, but instead her voice came out quickly. Did you take me for granted? That single questioned him. His breath hitched, his eyes glistening under the dim light of the car. He wanted to tell her that she was his whole world, that he had never taken her for granted, but he couldn't bring himself to say those words, not when he knew the truth was too far complicated. Instead, he kissed his jaw, forcing himself to remain emotionless. The silence stretched between them, suffocating. She laughed out, I understand. That was than any insult. He wanted to break down, to hold her close, tell her that she was everything to him. And when she felt the distance, the goodbye, the drive to the hospital was eerily silent. Neither of them spoke. When they arrived, the doctor greeted them with a kind yet concerned expression. Mrs. Kim, your condition than before. The doctor stated, flipping through the reports, your body is, you need somebody to take care of you all times. While her gaze shifted towards Taehyung. Maybe, just maybe, this would make him stay, but he didn't even look at her. He simply nodded, his face unreadable. Wine quickly turned her gaze back to the doctor, her heart constricting, the final piece of her hope crumbling into dust. The doctor sighed. I'll prescribe I'll prescribe medication, but emotional support is just as important. The doctor said, making Wine chuckled, but again Taehyung nodded. That was all. Not a single word to her, not even a glance. The ride back home was just as silent, but this time Wine wasn't hoping for him to say something. She already had her answers. When they reached home, she hesitantly sat on the sofa, carefully adjusting herself because of the weight in her belly. Taehyung exhaled sharply, as if preparing himself to speak. I'll go now, he said, his voice flat. Don't worry, I asked Lisa to stay with you, and she said okay. A sarcastic chuckle slipped from your lips. So she's a replacement for you, huh? He froze. Before he could even respond, Lisa stepped inside, her arms crossed. I don't even know why you married her, Taehyung, she scoffed. You can't even give her time. Then why did you even make her? Taehyung jaw, but he remained silent. Lisa took a step closer, her voice dripping with, and don't give me that military duty excuse. Not every soldier is like you. Taehyung's eyes widened slightly, the truth in her words, but he couldn't react. Instead, he turned to leave, but Lisa grabbed his arm, stopping him. I'm standing by her side, just like I always have in your absence. I wish she had chosen someone better than you. Taehyung inhaled sharply. His entire body didn't say a word. He simply walked past her and got into his car. You may be right, Lisa. If she had chosen someone else, she would be happy. But then his eyes, his determination settling in. But I won't leave my girl unfinished, not until I found the. His grip, until his knuckles turned, his car speeding off into the unknown. 3 months later, Lisa had taken care of Vine like a true friend, but nothing could fill the void Taehyung left behind that day. Vine was watching television absent-mindedly, her thoughts drifting to him. He hadn't called, not even once. Reporter, breaking news, Major General Kim Tae-hyun has been reported due to an unexpected attack from Vine whirled, her vision blurred, fresh tears spilling down her cheeks as her breath. No, no, it's not true, shaking her head, but then through her belly, making her womb, her baby. But even that was nothing compared to that consuming her nerve. Meanwhile, across the room, someone watching a satisfied. That person turned towards the couch where their so called partner lay sleeping. The figure leaning closer whispered, I won't take him. You will be not in, but in. I'll make sure you have no choice but to come back to me, even if it means everything you love. Subscribe. Let me know if you want part 2.